from the Nutter Center on the campus of Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio. It is the OHSAA State High School Volleyball Championships, the Division IV matchup between the Flyers of Marion Local and the Comets of Central Christian. Hi everyone, Jim Rosenhaus along with you this afternoon, joined by Lindsay Raleigh for what should be a great matchup. And Lindsay, we'll begin with Marion Local. They've been here before, 3 straight titles in 2007, 8, and 9. They're back again, 25-3 coming in. Some injuries early this season, but Claire Heitkamp got an opportunity because of that to be a team leader, and she really came through.
She really did. She's a senior outside hitter. She had 14 kills alone in the semis. She's got 363 on this season. She made first team all Ohio this year, and you know, she's just a really great leader for her team.
On the other side for Central Christian, the Comets 27-2. There's only 38 girls in the school in Kidron, Ohio, and yet they have made it back to the state championship for the first time since 1992, and they have a pretty good hammer in their own right up front in Sydney Mast.
She is. She is quite the hammer. Like you said, she's a senior middle blocker. She's actually headed to Cleveland State next year to continue her career. She's got 492 kills on this season. She made second team All-State. Very vocal leader, and she really is the heart and soul of this squad. So
as you'd expect, both teams have star players, but it is the other players that round out very good teams that have only lost 5 matches between them, and that brings us to our marathon keys to the game.
You know, their keys to the game are going to be very important today. Marion Local, it's going to be to contain Sydney Mast. She's definitely Central Christian's biggest offensive weapon. She's a large part of any success they have. And they're also going to have to serve receive really well. You know, their serve receive looked a little shaky yesterday. They're going to have to clean that up today in order to stay in system and run their offense. And then for Central Christian, they're really going to have to focus on their blocking. They had 12 blocking errors yesterday, so they really need to cut down on those errors for today. And they also need to be able to serve tough to keep Marion Local out of system. Marion Local has a very strong offensive front line. They have to be able to stop them.
Those are our keys to the game, brought to you by Marathon, fueling the American spirit. It's Marion Local, it's Central Christian, it's the Division IV Championship coming your way next on Sports Time Ohio.
This OHSAA Volleyball Championship is brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy sports better only with Time Warner Cable. And by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
All right,
okay,
thanks. Welcome back to the Division IV State Championship game. We're at the Nutter Center just outside of Dayton, Ohio, on the campus of Wright State University. And it is Marion Local against Central Christian. Great turnout on both sides, and a couple of teams, one of whom has been here before quite a bit, the other looking for its first state championship. And there's the starting lineups for Marion Local. And Lindsay, we talked about Claire Heitkamp in the open, but Josie Winner didn't play much this season due to injury, but she's as good as they come.
She really is. Josie Winner is such a great player. She plays a lot bigger than she actually is as well. But like you said, they just recently got her back. She was out majority of the season, and she's playing like she never got hurt.
And the head coach in her 10th season is Amy Steiniger, the Division IV Coach of the Year this year. And look at that winning percentage and the amount of wins she has had. A great program at Marion Local. Now on the other side for the Comets of Central Christian. There you see their starters. We mentioned Sydney Mast, but McKenna Granger can get it done too. We saw her yesterday in the semifinals, a solid effort on her behalf. And under 7th season head coach John Finn, the Comets looking for that first state title back in the championship game for the first time since 1992. He said their semifinal win, a 5-set victory yesterday, was the best volleyball game he had ever seen, and that's saying a lot. He's been around a while.
It was, and it was quite the game. We were here watching, and they really battled it out, and I just hope they come out today and they're ready to go and not as tired from that 5-game set yesterday.
And that was a victory over Eastern of Beaver, Ohio. There are your officials for this Division IV final. And again, you're looking at a team in Marion Local that has been here many times before. This is their 6th appearance in the state tournament portion of the state championships, getting here to the semifinals and now reaching the final. They won it 3 consecutive seasons, 07, 08, and 09, and now they are trying to add to that. Last year they lost in the district finals to the eventual Division IV champion St. Henry. So when they haven't gotten here, they've lost to the best along the way. Well, we're just about set to go. Serving will be Marion Local. They are in the blue, both teams in the blue, but Marion Local in the royal blue with more white trim and gold trim as well. And the first point of the game will go to Central Christian after a serve into the net. Back in play once again. They set it up for Heitkamp. Nice dig on the defensive side for Central Christian. And now a point for Marion Local to even up the game.
I'm not surprised that the first ball went to Claire Heitkamp. We talked about her already and her success and her leadership and how good of a player she is, but she's really going to have to execute those plays in order to win today.
Josie Winner, the serve. Off the back line, Granger gets it up ahead, and now Mast is able to put it away. Her first opportunity.
Here you see she gets up, big swing, and they leave a huge line for her. Marion Local really needs to be able to read and get out on her since she is such an offensive threat.
Now Mast had an ankle injury during the state playoffs, just getting back this week. And Lindsay, you can probably attest to this as a former player. You have an ankle injury, and that probably can take longer than you might think, but she looked okay yesterday in the semifinals.
She did. She looked great. And like you said, ankle injuries are tough because they kind of linger. They hang around a little bit, but she doesn't look like she's being bothered at all by it.
Play back in and a tie set at 2. Nice save on the back line. Central Christian keeping things alive. Now the setup and the put-away attempt by Webker. Nice dig on the backside by the Comets. Heitkamp from deep, and it's in. Marion Local with the lead.
Very smart swing here, Heitkamp. She tried to go hard sharp earlier, and there she was able to get the deep line shot. Very, very hard ball to dig.
Play back in off the serve. Mast with a flip. Now Heitkamp with the power. Another point for Marion Local.
Here you see another one of these blocking errors by Central Christian. I talked about in the open, they're really going to have to be able to press over middle court in order to stop Marion Local.
Now the setup. Nice defense that time by Marion Local. Oh, a good play at the net. It looked like Hannah Arling was up above the net, and Marion Local comes away with a point again.
Hannah Arling does a really great job of pressing over there and being able to stop that ball from even breaking the plane.
And we'll look forward to seeing more shots from the net cam throughout the afternoon, as again Marion Local now putting together a nice run. They've scored again to take a 4-point lead here in the first set. Best 3 out of 5. That's Hannah Arling on the serve. Comets trying to set things up, but they can't do it. Heitkamp, and this time it's too strong. So a point for Central Christian.
Here you see Hannah Arling gets up, ball's a little bit behind her, and she swung and barely missed that end line.
Well, they set her up again, this time a soft play at the net. And that time she leaves it short. So Central Christian with back-to-back points. Serving back on the end line, Melissa Nussbaum. Their setter, 49 assists in the game yesterday in the semifinal. Now the Comets trying to get it done, and they do as Mast just laid it over the net and comes away with the point. 3 straight now for the Comets.
And this is exactly what makes Sydney Mast such a good player. She's very strong, power plays, but also knows when to be smart.
And off the serve, it goes out of bounds. So Marion Local with a 2-point lead here in set number 1. Claire Heitkamp, first team All-Ohio, with an opportunity here. She did not play much the last 2 seasons, but got the opportunity with the injury to Winner and really took advantage this year, parlaying it into a first team All-Ohio selection. Good rally going here. The Flyers set it up. That's Gina Kramer. Nice dig on the back line by the Comets. They set it up again. Kramer will get it over. Boy, she had a big day yesterday in the semifinals. Boy, good block up at the net on Mast. They set it up again to the Comets, and this time it's too far. Natalie Swift trying to put it away, but hit it past the end line.
Here you see this big block, and part of their success, Marion Local is going to have to continue those blocks on Sydney Mast.
They set it up, does Marion Local, and a good dig on the defense that time by Stacy Koblenz. There she is again, keeping it alive. Granger. And now back the other way. Heitbrink flips it across for the Flyers. Well, another good point between these two teams. Wepker. Another nice save for the Flyers. They set it up for Kramer, and it is blocked out of bounds, or no? Nope, simply out of bounds. So a point for Central Christian, and it remains close.
Long rally, she barely hits that ball out of bounds, and I think those long rallies, we're going to see a lot of those today, and it's going to come down to those unforced errors like that, keeping balls in, making those smart shots when you don't necessarily have the best set to go with.
Off the serve from Mast. Heitbrink with the put away. She missed some time this year, 5 weeks with a back injury. So the head coach for the Flyers, Amy Steininger, was saying yesterday that she had such high hopes heading into the season, and then right away injuries, and she wasn't sure how things would work out, but I think they're just fine. And another point for the Flyers. Well, you spend all summer. Here's a look at that block.
See. Nice press over the net. Marion Local really did a great job there of closing that block up.
You spend your whole summer setting your team up and making plans, but they had to adjust a little bit.
Right.
Now the Comets trying to get things back. Good defense at the net by the Flyers. They set it up for Wepker. She found the opening. And Marion Local extends its lead to 4 points here in set number 1.
Here we see another block by Marion Local. They're really just doing a great job of focusing in on closing those blocks and pressing middle court.
It's interesting, in their semifinal win yesterday, Central Christian, their players were talking about what they might need to do to avoid blocks, and it seems like it's been an issue here early on.
It has, and absolutely right, they do. They need to make the smart shots. If you see that big double block up in front of you, make a smart roll, tip, something like that, but you can't continually pound it into the block.
In their semifinal win against Eastern, Eastern was doing a nice job up front, but late in that match, that's when Central Christian was able to make some adjustments, and it paid off big for them. Marion Local with the lead here in set number 1. That's Clara Wepker with the serve. Up front, another block. Granger with the tip. Flyers keep it alive. Wepker, she's denied by Granger up front. And the put-away attempt is too strong by Marion Local. Another point for Central Christian.
Huge block here for Marion Local. Again, doing such a great job.
Like that was Josie Winner up top that time. Play back in. Granger can't put it away. And it goes out of bounds. Point for Central Christian. They sneak right back in it. Now on the serve for the Comets, Stacy Koblenz, too strong.
We've had a few missed serves already, and it's early in the match. It's pretty interesting to me. I don't know, maybe it's hyped up a little bit, maybe a little bit of nerves working those out, but you don't normally see out of either one of these teams that many missed serves this early in a match.
Brianna Hess with the serve for Marion Local. And the ball is tipped out of bounds, a point for the Flyers. So they're back up by 4.
Marion Local here gets up and presses over. Even when Central Christian was trying to be smart and tip it over, Marion Local still was able to get up and get the block.
And there's Winner with the put away. Well, you talk about someone who showed some dedication over the summer playing for a club team in Muncie, Indiana. Hour and 20-minute drive one way, and yet she did that 4 days a week to try and make sure she was ready to go for this season. Then hurts her ankle, and well, you got to wonder about just trying to keep focused and, and not get discouraged, but she certainly has done that.
Absolutely.
Marion Local in the western part of the state, and they have come out in droves. They're right behind us, the fans for the Flyers. And again, 3 straight titles. They won them consecutively, 07 to 09. And they play in a very tough conference, the Midwest Athletic Conference, and their head coach, and there you see her, Amy Steininger, was saying that their conference schedule, it's hard for them to get a non-conference schedule that's tougher than their conference schedule. That's how strongly she believes in her conference.
It is. It's a very strong conference, and it's definitely prepared them to come here for states. They made it all the way to the finals. I'm sure that preparation definitely played a hand in them getting here today.
Now they put it back in off the serve, leading by 5. And it's now down to 4 after a nice put away. I believe that was Mast on the put away. Granger?
Yes, I believe it was Granger, yes, because now Sydney Mast has rotated up to front row, which I'm sure Marion Local is not particularly thrilled about.
Off the serve by Granger. Winner with a winner. The lead is 5 again.
Wow, there you see Winner doing what she does best. She runs a great slide attack. Very quick, big snap on the ball, very hard to dig.
And she'll be headed to Eastern Illinois to play her college volleyball next season. Off the serve, into the net. Allie Wendel with that serve into the net for Marion Local. Again, a best 3 out of 5 sets. 25 wins it. You got to win by 2. Off the serve, there's Heitkamp. Boy, good dig on the backside by Koblenz. Central Christian having a tough time setting things up consistently. They just get it across this time. And there is Heitbrink. Couldn't get it to drop. They set it up again. And it results in a point. Claire Heitkamp able to get it done for Marion Local.
We spoke about Heitkamp earlier, and she's definitely going to be that go-to hitter. Here you see, even the set wasn't that great, but she's still able to do something with it and be smart.
Hannah Arling with the serve for the Flyers. And they're able to set it up again. There's Mast with the power play. Off the back line, Webker just getting it across. There's Mast again. Good dig on the backside. Boy, nice playing on the back line by Hess, but, well, they can't hold it off for long.
That was just a great rally back and forth, and then finally Marion Local had that overpass, and Sydney Mast gets up big and puts this ball away.
And back the other way, the serve is too strong again. So it's a 5-point game, 17-12. Marion Local in front. There's Claire Heitkamp. Still hasn't made a college selection. You got to figure somebody's going to get a pretty good volleyball player.
You would think so, yeah.
Late in the game, too. Mast able to score again for Central Christian, 17-13. Explain that, Lindsay. in terms of recruiting and when players commit, how unusual is it for someone who's an all-state performer not to have picked yet?
It's very unusual, actually. Most of those kids have chosen by now, or at least close to choosing, but the feel we got from her coach was that she was still looking around. So, like you said, someone's going to get a pretty good ball player late in the game.
And when you look at a lot of the top players, how early can they commit, and how often do you see them?
Will verbally commit some extremely young, sophomores in high school, even freshmen sometimes in the extreme cases. But you see generally people really starting to pick kids up, committing, getting their big commits down around junior year, and then signing right before their senior year.
Well, we have a couple in this game already committed. As there's another point for Central Christian. Boy, this one stays tight, a 3-point first set. But Sydney Mast will be headed to Cleveland State next year, so you have a couple of commits, one on each side. There's Kramer, too far. Or was it? Yes, it was too far. Point for Central Christian. Timeout, Marion Local, as the Comets won't go away.
No, they won't. And I think that this is a good timeout by Marion Local. You know, she needs to really calm her team down a little bit. They look a little bit too hyped up, making some errors that they normally do not make. So I think they just need to relax and play their game right now.
And with Central Christian, Jim Finn working with a group of players who come from different parts of their county, really, not necessarily in the town of Kidron, which is where the school is located. Only 38 girls, but he says they come in from different communities throughout the area.
Certainly, and that definitely gives him a little bit of an edge up, because when you're getting kids from all over the area, you're bound to get some more talent.
Well, it's been a good first set so far. We've seen some close volleyball action here the past couple of days in the semifinals and in other finals throughout the day today. And this one's shaping up as a close match as well, at least early. Off the serve. Winner. Blocked at the net. Great block by Sarah Miller. They set it up again. Webker dug out again by the Comets. Webker again, and this time she makes good.
Wow, a lot of good volleyball going on there. And here you see this big block by Central Christian. You know, their coach yesterday, Coach Finn, said they really needed to work on their blocking and they wanted to be able to come out today strong. And so far, they've done their job.
Yeah, they keep it a 2 to 3 point set here, this first set. And it just seems watching these matches that the team, if it's a close first set, the team that comes out on top, then they carry that momentum through.
Definitely, that momentum plays a huge role in leading into the rest of the match.
Winner with another winner. Man, you talk about quickness.
Absolutely, and quickness all around, not just her feet and getting to the ball, but her arm swing is so quick. It's very hard to defend and very hard to block.
On the back line, Brianna Hess, a 5'6" senior, to serve. Comets with the setup. There's Mast. Too far. Just couldn't get on top.
No, that ball looked to be a little bit behind her, and you know, that's an unforced error that you normally don't see out of Sydney Mast. So she just needs to relax and make those smart plays, especially when they count now at the end of set one.
Well, Central Christian takes a timeout. They'll talk things over, try and stop the momentum, trailing by 4. Well, if you'd like to watch this game again, you can look for it in other high school state championship games only on Time Warner Cable Local On Demand on channel 411. You can pause, fast forward, rewind, and even do instant replays. Local On Demand is free with Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better. And there you see the Nutter Center on the campus of Wright State, the site of the state volleyball championships for many seasons now. They do a great job here.
They really do, and it's a beautiful facility and really fun for the girls to come in here and have this opportunity to play in a big arena.
And no matter how many of their fans come down, usually it's quite a few, they make some noise in here. This building holds the noise well, and it's a great atmosphere. Play back in. Granger lining it up. Nice dig by Heitkamp. And it results in a point for Marion Local.
Wow, that was a lot of great play by Marianne Franklin on defense and offense. And here you see good enough defense to be able to get their ball to their big gun winner.
They set it up again. This time Heitkamp. She lets it fly. Good dig on the back line by Natalie Swift. And now we have a point for Central Christian to try and keep things close. Marion Local getting closer to the 25 needed to take the set. Granger on the serve. They set it up for Heitkamp. And that power's just too much for Stacy Koblenz. Gave it a try on the back line, but couldn't get it done.
You really have to give credit to Heitkamp. She's really had some trouble this set, swinging a little bit. She's made some errors, but there she's still staying aggressive, even at the end. Really great for her.
Winner on the serve. And it nets Marion Local a point. And they're now 1 point away from taking the first set. They lead it by 6 as Winner goes to work with the serve. Mast. Wow, nice save by Winner. Hess tried to put it away, but Central Christian keeps this game going. They lead or trail by 5. Marion Local, again, 1 point away from wrapping up the first set. They set it up for Heitkamp. Good partial block at the net. Back the other way, Mass tries to put it away. She does again, and this time it works.
Marion Local got the first one up, but just couldn't necessarily get that second one. Mass came out determined to put that ball down on that second swing.
24-20. Central Christian's trying to stay alive. Arling with a flip. Now they set it up. And there it is. The first set on a winner by Hannah Arling goes to Marion Local. They win that first set 25-20. Some good action at the net. And Marion Local grabs the lead in this best 3 out of 5. That's the Division IV championship Marion Local taking the first set, 25-20 over Central Christian. Kim Rosenhaus along with Lindsay Rowley. And I guess maybe what we expected were some tough play up front for Central Christian to try and get things going, but it seemed like they solved some things later on in the set.
Right, a lot of long rallies there, and Marion Local just really doing a great job. And it's like you said, that first set is so crucial because of momentum. And Central Christian really needs to be able to find an answer. I mean, you look at Marion Local, and they have 3 hitters hitting over 300 in set 1. So Central Christian really needs to be able to find an answer in their blocking and their defense as well.
And again, if you're just joining us, Marion Local, the team that had won 3 straight state titles, 07 through 09. Now back in the state championship game this season, trying to keep it going. One of the great powers in Division IV volleyball in the state. And they open set number 2 with a point, playing well at the net again.
Here you see them really getting it out and closing on Sidney Mass. And if there's one person on Central Christian that Marion Local wants to close on and have a big block, it's definitely Sidney Mass.
Josie Winner, a senior, with the serve. They set things up. Sarah Miller tries to put it away, couldn't get much on it. Now back the other way, Heitkamp has it thrown right back at her. And early on in this set, we're tied up at 1. And Miller will serve for Central Christian. They set it up for Heitkamp. A nice dig over there by Marissa Cryer. Now back the other way. Heit Brink has it put right back at her. Was that Mast up there?
It was. Huge block by Sidney Mass. She got up and she was one-on-one and still able to press over. Here you see presses over big, straight down. She's pretty happy about it too.
Now we're played back in and Heitkamp gets it done. So we're tied at 2. That's the thing about volleyball. Nobody gets too excited about these points or anything.
No, they're pretty calm and collected for the most part.
Great enthusiasm from all teams. Everyone down here, they get fired up. It's fun to watch. Now Webker tried to flip it over, but again, Central Christian doing some good work right near the net.
They are, and we talked at the break a little bit how they had to step their blocking game up, and that's exactly what they're doing here, doing a great job reading and closing their blocks.
And a good serve that time. Melissa Nussbaum. Central Christian with the lead here in set 2. Nussbaum again with a serve, pretty good one on the back line. Wepker fired it too far. We get stats at the end of each set, and you look at the attack percentage, and Lindsay, you were explaining earlier today at how you look at that in terms of kills and attempts.
Absolutely, it has to do with how many kills each player has, their errors, and their total attempts, and that's kind of how they get their hitting percentage. And it's a great way for coaches and players to know how they're matching up against a team and the kind of game they're having.
And
speaking of a good game,
yeah.
Sidney Mass being very smart there, being able to put that tip right where she needed to put it to find an opening on the floor.
And in terms of what is a good kill percentage for a team, what would it be at the end of a match?
Well, right now, to see that Marion Local has 3 hitters hitting over 300 is really, really great. That's a great hitting percentage to be able to keep over 300. 500, the closer you get to 500, the more you're looking like a superstar of some form.
Well, despite...
Here you see this block, huge, again for Sidney Mass, getting up and practically setting a wall up for Marion Local.
And that has led to a 7-2 lead for the Comets, as they have come out here despite losing set 1. And we've seen that momentum carry through where teams lose a set, they're unable to overcome that. But it looks like Central Christian has, and there's the trail that they have been on. They've had some tough matches, a couple of 5-setters, and boy, that just seems like such a gamble. You get to that 5-set, it seems like anybody's match, but they've been able to get through, and they were saying yesterday they're toughened up by the 5-setters. They've had quite a few this season.
Definitely. It definitely helps that team any team it may be in order to get into those 5-game situations, because a lot of teams, when they get to that 5 set, like you said, it can go either way, and a lot of panic ensues and nerves. Things like that can tend to take over. But for how many times that they've been in that situation, it shouldn't really shock them very much.
They had a great close-up there of Sydney Mast, and I believe it was Marissa Cryer. And you can tell that these kids are not on TV too much. They were laughing because the cameraman was right there.
Not used to having that camera in their face necessarily.
What a great experience for them, though. That's the common theme. These kids really enjoy being down here for the couple of days for the ones that make the finals. Central Christian still at it, leading by 6 now. And you can make it 7. Mast with another put away. Boy, they have it rolling here in set 2, trying to square this match up at 1 set apiece. Nussbaum with another serve, and it's a good one.
We talked a little bit about how teams can kind of get discouraged if they lose set 1. Well, that doesn't seem to be happening to Central Christian. Very confident, a lot of momentum. You can see a lot of energy. These girls are very confident, even though they lost set 1.
Now they'll try and set something up here. They do for Mast. Look out. And it's another put away on the kill side for Mast.
Another big swing for Sydney Mast. She's definitely one of those players you don't want to give an opening to, and that's exactly what Marion Local did. They gave her a little bit of line, and she definitely made them pay for it.
And Amy Steiniger has used her second time out here in the set within the first 10 points or so for the other side. Central Christian out to a 9-point lead. How about that?
Wow, it is very rare that you see a coach use 2 of their timeouts, both be done before you even reach 15 points. Either team reaches 15 points. So I don't necessarily disagree with it. I think it's a good idea because she wants to stop the bleeding as quickly as possible and be able to get her team back on track again. And
there's John Finn, the head coach, and we just saw some numbers there on 5-set games, or matches, we should say, for Central Christian. They've been down that road, and it'll have to go at least 4 sets if they want to win here today. Long way to go in this set. But Marion Local down by 9 points as Nussbaum will go back to work. She lets it fly. Now the setup. Not much doing right now for Marion Local. And now Mast is denied that time. They got up in front. Looked like Claire Heitkamp put it right back from where it came.
It was, and I'm sure during that timeout, they really decided, you know, we have got to key in on Sydney Mast. She's killing us right now. I'm sure the Marion Local coach, Coach Finn, was saying, we really need to keep swinging, Sydney, because they're not stopping you.
And there's Mast with a changeup, so to speak, just kind of flipping it over instead of going with the power move, and it worked.
Absolutely. We talked earlier about how she's not only a power hitter, but she's a smart hitter. And here you see she just got blocked, decided to do an off-speed shot, and it paid off.
And now the senior headed to Cleveland State will serve. Kramer with the big put away. Oh, she had a huge game yesterday with 14 kills in the semifinal, and she was saying afterward you get in a zone, so to speak, but your teammates have to make sure that you keep getting those opportunities, right?
Absolutely. She did have a great game yesterday. She's been a little more quiet here today. I was a little surprised so far. But there you see her getting involved, so maybe this is the beginning of her getting in the zone.
And Granger back the other way, puts up a point for Central Christian. Comets maintaining that 9-point lead. Off the serve, there's Winner. And it's blocked at the net.
Wow.
Looked like Natalie Swift was up there.
This is something you don't see very often. Josie Winner getting blocked right straight down. She's normally very smart in knowing when she's tighter to the net about her shots.
Granger can't quite get it to drop in play. It's a point for Marion Local. Central Christian playing with a lot of confidence right now against a Marion Local team that always seems confident and composed. We saw that yesterday. On the serve, Clara Wepker. Too far.
Those are the kinds of unforced errors, missed serves, things like that you just can't afford, especially when you're down 10 points. You have to be able to put those serves in and cut down on your unforced errors.
Winner gets it done. Well, you can see that coming on the setup. Nice setup by Hannah Arling.
Hannah Arling does a great job of getting this ball all the way back there for Winner to get a really great swing on it.
She's a second-team All-Ohio selection. Now off the serve, Central Christian with a 9-point lead. Trying to build on that. They'll be able to set something up here. There's Granger. Nice dig on the back line. And the point goes to the Flyers.
It was a great touch by Central Christian on the block, but Sydney Mass just couldn't get through that swing. She's got to be able to put those balls up so they can run their offense.
Off the serve, Granger gets the point. Well, Mast was the second-team All-Ohio selection, but Granger, she really complements her very well, giving another option for the Comets. They set it up, and another point for the Comets. As that time it was Sarah Miller able to come through at the net.
Central Christian's doing a really great job right now mixing up their offense. Obviously their big guns would be Granger and Mast, but for them to be able to mix it up, it's really going to help them open holes and create holes for their hitters.
Marion Local trying to hang around here. They're down by 9 points in this second set. Again, 25 wins it. Marion Local won the first set, 25-20. Josie Winner will serve. And that time it went into the net, so another point for Marion Local. One of the Flyers players talking after the game yesterday about Winner and the time that she missed, but what she tried to do to contribute to the team while she was out with a broken ankle for most of the regular season.
Yep,
nice
they said she's very involved.
Line.
Great team player.
And sometimes it's tough when you're injured and you can't contribute on the court. What can you do to help your team? What are some of the things that you can try and do?
Here you see great dig, fully extended by Winner, able to put that up for her team to actually do something with it.
And now it's Marion Local that's on a run of its own. They're trailing by 6 points here in this set. Central Christian had as large as a 10-point lead on a couple of occasions.
This is a great job by Claire Heitkamp, especially to step in and be able to close that and put a double block up.
There's Mast. Wow, good dig on the back line. Now the Flyers set it up for Heitkamp, and she'll get the point.
And here we see another great defensive play by Marion Local, doing such a great job of staying scrappy and keeping this momentum rolling that they've built a little bit.
And now it's Central Christian that has to burn a timeout. They still lead here in the set, 17-12, but it's a set they desperately need to try and square things up at one set apiece. And there you see the veteran head coach, Amy Steiniger. And here's how they got here. It is not easy for them because they have to go through St. Henry at some point. They caught them early this time and got past them, and it's been smooth sailing since. That was a good point by the coach yesterday. She said, you know, you want to make the state finals, but you need good health, which they didn't have. They overcame that. But you need a good draw in the tournament too sometimes. Some things have to work out in your favor sometimes. And
yeah, that draw can definitely make or break your path to get to states. But they did a great job of getting here. And as you can tell, they're very excited to be here.
And a chance to win another state championship after winning 3 straight from 07 to 09. Winner with the serve, her team trailing by 5. Mast just gets it across, and that will allow the Flyers to set it up. They do for Heitbrink, nothing there. Wow, back the other way, Mast let it fly. Another good dig on the backside. And what do we have? A point for Central Christian.
That's the second double call that we've seen on Arling this game. You know, normally Hannah Arling's more disciplined in her setting, but that's her second double call. I don't know, maybe nerves are getting to her a little bit, or if she's just a little hyped up from the run they're on.
That's a 6-point game now. Granger can't get it done. Now Marion Local stays close and tries to creep a little closer with Arling on the serve. 5'9" senior. They set it up for Mast, and she gets it done. No, excuse me, too far.
She just barely missed that, yeah, on her slide. The ball was a little bit behind her. She just needed to take that ball and put it in.
All right, Marion Local now continuing to build on this momentum that they've gained after falling behind at one point 11-2 and 17-7 in this second set. Another block at the net. This time Marissa Cryer tried to get it done.
Wow.
Well, there's too many Flyers up there.
This is just a great block, great technique. They both are big up over the net, fully closed, and that's another huge momentum builder. Now they've brought it within 2 points after being down 10. They're doing a great job of making a comeback in this set.
There's Heitkamp, and the beat goes on.
Wow.
1 point set.
Heitkamp gets up and takes full advantage of that hole that Central Christian left in the block.
And the Comets want to try and halt the momentum. They call time again, leading by just 1 in this all-important second set for them, as they trail already by that 1 set margin, as Marion Local won the first set 25-20.
And you can see a little bit of doubt kind of creeping into Central Christian's minds, the kind of way they're playing, their body language, and I'm sure Coach Finn is just telling his team, look, we're fine, we're still winning this game. We just need to calm down, get a side out here, and continue to play the game that we were playing earlier in this set.
Isn't it amazing how quickly it turns?
It is. You know, in rally scoring, it is so much harder to come back from a deficit. And Marion Local, quite frankly, is making it look easy.
Yeah, they still have the serve as Arling will put it in play. 18-17, Central Christian in front. They set it up for Mast, and she stops that run by Marion Local with a good put away. 19-17. Good serve by Nussbaum, makes it tough for the Flyers. Now the Comets set it up for Mast. Boy, a great dig again on that back line. Another good point going here. Heitkamp. Boy, she's been solid in terms of accuracy and finding the openings.
She has, and she's gotten blocked a couple times, made only a couple errors, but she's the kind of kid that it's not going to matter. She's going to get up and make this strong swing anyway and stay aggressive.
And now she serves, trying to tie the game. Boy, good heavy serve by Heitkamp. Mast, dug out on the back line by Arling. Kramer just gets it across. Now Mast again, looking for the opening. More good defense by the Flyers. They set it up for Mast. Heitkamp in the back. Sets it up for Kramer. And it's a point for Marion Local. And this second set is now tied at 19.
Great efforts on defense in both of those last plays. And here Kramer just couldn't get it through, and there was a net violation.
Off the serve, Mast blocked at the net. Marion Local has the lead in this second set.
And here you see going to Sydney Mast, but she just couldn't get that ball through the block. They're really doing a great job of keying in on her now.
Marissa Cryer with a huge play for Central Christian. As it's tied again now at 20. Mast on the serve. Flyers trying to set it up. They do for Kramer. She gets the point. Marion Local back in front.
Gina Kramer did a great job of powering through this block. She saw a little bit of an opening on line, and Central Christian wasn't able to press over enough to really stop her.
Off the serve, Megan Wendel. They set it up for Granger, and she put it into the net. There was blocking there anyway, and it's a point for Marion Local, and they now lead by 2. Both teams out of their timeouts. Wendel to serve. They set it up, and Cryer has it blocked back right at her. Boy, just dominant play at the net right now by Marion Local.
It really is. They're doing a great job of closing these blocks. You see how big of a block Cryer had, and she just couldn't match up against those big arms coming over the net at her.
And another point. The Flyers just pulling away now after trailing by as many as 10 in this second set. They are now 1 point away from going up 2-0 in this best 3 out of 5 championship match. Wendel on the serve into the net. So Central Christian pulls to within 3. Marissa Cryer will serve now for the Comets of Central Christian. Flyers set it up. Winner denied. And it's a point for Central Christian, 22. They pull to within 2. But again, a point for Marion Local. They win the set. They set it up. Kramer. Boy, nice dig on the back line by Mast. They set it up again for Kramer. And this time it pays off. The second set goes to the Flyers of Marion Local, coming from 10 points down at 1 point to do it. That was impressive. And Marion Local playing above the net. That has been the story so far as they take a commanding lead in this championship match. Don't forget, during all high school championship events on STO, join the conversation on Twitter using the hashtag OHChamps. We'll post pictures and provide game updates, so join us on Twitter and use the hashtag OHChamps throughout the year of high school championship events right here on STO. Well, it has been Marion Local out to the 2-set advantage. And you look at those scores, and it kind of tells the story. They've been close sets, but a commanding lead now for the Flyers because they managed to play well when they've needed to, and what a comeback in set 2.
It was, and to be up by that much and have that confidence built up of we've got this set, this is ours, and to get going and then have Marion Local come back and win, it really is a shot to their confidence. And they're really going to have to come out in this match fired up with a lot of enthusiasm because it can really take away from your game mentally. So they need to come out here mentally and physically strong and get this set. Obviously, this is do or die time now.
Well, here we go. Marion Local will start with the serve. Brianna Hess to serve on the back line. And the first point goes to Central Christian. Sarah Miller right at the net with a nice play. 5'11" senior. Granger with the serve. Too strong. Oh, I just couldn't get the top spin on it, and it took off on her. McKenna Granger, a 6-foot senior. And now on the other side, there's Josie Winner, looking to finish her high school career with a state title. Mast blocked at the net again. And the put away, that time by Hannah Arling. Another of the injured players for much of the regular season, missing 5 weeks with a back injury. Boy, what a lift Arling and Winner have given this team in the playoffs and the state tournament. They set it up for Heitkamp. Good save on the back line. There's Mast. Arling. What action.
Wow.
Getting on the floor, McKenna Granger. But there's no stopping Claire Heitkamp there.
No, she had a big swing, and you've got to give credit to Central Christian. They make some great defensive plays, but Claire Heitkamp got up and said, enough of this, and she put the ball to the floor.
Oh, and this is your classic underdog situation for Central Christian. You look across the way, there's only 3 extra players on the bench. And it's a full bench for Marion Local, but the players who are out there, you have one going to the Division I school and Sidney Mass.
Absolutely, a lot of tradition with Marion Local. A lot of these players very seasoned in success. They've been here before. They know what they want.
Central Christian has given them a lot to handle here in this championship match, but now they're trailing 5-1 here in what could be a decisive set 3. There you see across the way, just 3 extra players for the Comets. Boy, they gave it every effort to try and keep that point alive, did the Flyers.
They did, as you can see, getting caught up on the tables a little bit over on the media side, but they're back on the floor.
Yeah, the press row did not want to let Clara Wepker get back in the game.
No, it didn't. Holding on to her a little bit.
Sarah Miller with the serve. Heitkamp. Good block at the net by Mast. Well, Central Christian trying to hang in there here in set 3. They set it up. Arling doubles up on it, but again, Central Christian with fine play defensively, and it pays off in a point.
Absolutely. It's a great play offensively, but you have to give this to their defense. Great digs, great scrap, and they're able to put it in a nice spot down the line and be smart and get the point.
There's Heitkamp. Comets keep it going, and they can't get it across. That was Stacy Koblenz with the last opportunity, just couldn't get it high enough.
Central Christian, though, playing some great defense, having some great scrappy plays.
Hannah Arling on the serve for Marion Local. There's Mast. She found the opening. You bet.
She did, and another very hard ball to dig, to get up as big as she does with her big arm and swing across her body to right back. Very hard ball to dig and play defense against.
Heitkamp. Down to Mast with the flip. They set it up. Heitkamp again. Good play at the net here. And finally the put away by Mast.
I like this aggressive play by Sydney Mast. She could have set one of her hitters up on a second touch, but instead she gets up and decides to take it into her own hands. I like it, very aggressive.
And our set is tied up now at 6. Marion Local retakes the lead. All right, again, good play as they try and push things back right where it came from Mast. There's Webker, more good play by Central Christian at the net. This point stays alive. Another long point, and Granger finds the opening. McKenna Granger with a nice play for the Comets.
She really does a great job being an OH2. You know, Sydney Mast is their big gun, but Granger does a great job of getting in there, making the smart plays, keeping the ball in play, and then getting her kills when she can.
Another point for the Comets. They take the lead now in set number 3. They're trying to get on a run like they did in the last set. It didn't last, but at one point they led that last set by 10. Oh, there's Kramer with another vicious kill. Gina Kramer, the junior, she's got some power.
She does, and she's also got some great vertical on her. When she gets up and her timing's right, she's above any block you set.
Tied at 8. A tough serve that time by Megan Wendel, could not be handled. And Marion Local retakes the lead. Granger with the power play.
Here you see she does a great job of taking advantage of that block being pulled out to the pin and hitting sharp cross.
Good dig on the back line by Marissa Cryer. Winner will try it again. Again, good defense by Central Christian. Flyers set it up again. Webker denied. Winner is able to get it done. Marion Local back in front.
It's a very hard ball to hit. You have to give credit to Winner there. She was able to transition quickly and then get up for that quick middle ball.
Here comes the serve from Webker. Net violation?
Yes, I believe so. Somewhere in there in the play.
So we're tied at 10. Koblenz with the serve, good serve. Kramer with the put away again. That's some serious extension, huh?
It is. She takes that ball. Her arm swing is textbook. She gets up, takes the ball at the very peak. Nice big arm. Does a great job.
Marion Local back in front. Tight, tense, set 3. Winner. Good dig on the backside by Mast. Heitkamp. Too strong. Point for the Comets. So we're tied up again, this time at 11. There's McKenna Granger with the serve. Heitkamp. Again with the put away. Heitkamp heading into this set had 11 kills, and she's had a couple here in these last 2 points.
She's definitely making a big impact on this set. And what I love about her is on the play before that, she had gotten stuff blocked, and then she comes up and she stays aggressive. A lot of players, after you get blocked, you kind of start to lay off and you get a little scared of getting blocked again. Not her. She stays aggressive.
And Marion Local opening up a rarity in this set, a 2-point advantage. Mast. Winner with the save on the back line. Mast again. And she found the opening. The dig attempt by Brianna Hess, but boy, that's tough to get in front of that.
It is. Brianna Hess almost had it. You have to give her credit. That was a great hard swing by Mast. And Hess almost had that up.
Have to have a little courage there. Heitkamp gets it done. 2-point lead again for Marion Local. That's Hannah Arling on the serve. Flyers set it up. Heitbrink denied by Mast. Sydney Mast has had a pretty good game defensively along the net.
She has. She's been setting some great blocks today. I think much better than what I saw out of her yesterday. She's doing a much better job staying disciplined.
And another point for the Flyers as Heitkamp puts it in play. And Marion Local has that 2-point lead. And again, they win this set, the match is over. They won the first 2 sets. They played a 25. Heitkamp puts it into the net to give a point back to Central Christian.
I think her toss was just a little too low. She seemed to kind of have that ball behind her. And when that happens, you just have to know exactly what kind of swing to put on it. So a little better toss next time for her.
Mast on the serve. Here's the setup. Heitbrink gets the point. And Marion Local's back up by 2. Megan Wendel on the serve. They set it up for Granger. Good blocking by the Flyers. Results in a point.
Another great block by Marion Local. Their blocking game today has stepped up tremendously. Going into this third game, they had 11 team blocks. That's huge, going after only playing 2 sets.
Now a timeout called by Central Christian. They'll talk things over in this do-or-die set for them. Don't forget, next Sunday, November the 18th, more volleyball action here on STO. It's the MAC Volleyball Championship game. The Ohio U Bobcats have won 3 of the last 4 MAC championships. And, well, will they retake the crown this year? We'll find out next Sunday at 1 o'clock for the MAC Volleyball Championship game right here on STO. Well, here's the middle of the 3 consecutive state titles for Marion Local back in 2008. There you see the championship point. They started their run in 07, did it again in 08, and Amy Steininger has had a pretty good run of 10 seasons. This year's Division IV Coach of the Year. And her team trying to zero in on another one. Central Christian trying to say something about it. Yeah, we have a net violation on Marion Local, so this third set stays close. 2-point lead for the Flyers. Serve for Marissa Cryer for the Comets. They set it up. Kramer delivers again. 18-15.
Great swing. That was such a beautiful swing by Kramer. She gets up so big and does a great job. But also, you have to give credit to Hannah Arling, their setter. Marion Local setter is doing such a great job of mixing up her sets and really getting everyone involved. She's being a great quarterback for her team in this match.
Off the serve, it'll be a good set for the Flyers. Winner, boy, she just pulverized the volleyball that time, and it results in a point.
Here you see she had great timing on this quick arm swing. Very quick arm swing. Yeah, there wasn't much that Central Christian could really do about that ball.
19-15, Marion Local starting to pull away. They'll try to set it up again. Kramer denied that time. I believe that was Sarah Miller.
I wouldn't be surprised if Central Christian's starting to key in a little bit on Gina Kramer. Know that she's quickly becoming their go-to hitter right now since she's playing so well. So they really need to key in on her and be able to set a solid block.
Winner can't quite get it done. Good dig on the defensive side by the Comets. Kramer just gets it across. There's Granger. And it's a solid kill by McKenna Granger. 19-17. Central Christian hanging around.
Oh, I think they're going to call Central Christian out of rotation. Apparently they had the wrong server. So that ball will go back to Marion Local.
And the scoreboard is showing that it's now a 4-point lead for Marion Local. So this is a huge call at this point in the game.
It definitely is, and it's definitely going to throw Central Christian off a little bit, especially if they think they were in rotation this whole time, and then to have the ref or the score book be able to tell them, no, you were out of rotation. This could be a huge turning point.
Now John Finn's over there, the head coach, to try and figure things out. And for it to come at this point in time, set 3 with time running out on their hopes to try and extend things, and
it's very crucial.
Still some confusion across the way at the scorer's table. They're going to try and figure things out.
It's very difficult when things like this happen, if there's any kind of discrepancy or things like that, because it can really stop a momentum build. So for Marion Local or Central Christian to have this kind of uncalled timeout, I guess you could say, it's very hard to continue play aggressively after you have these long breaks.
Yeah, and certainly John Finn trying to do what he can to reverse things. I mean, it was looking pretty good for Central Christian in terms of getting deeper back into this set. They were only trailing by 2 points, but now it's a 4-point set. They play to 25. There's not much time left.
No, absolutely not, especially in the third set after being down 2 sets. He's definitely going to put up as much of a fight as he can.
Well, he has brought this team down here, Central Christian, with only 38 girls in the school. If it's not the smallest school in the state, it's close. And it's going to stand as is. Serve goes back to Marion Local. 4-point lead for the Flyers. And they're still trying to figure out.
Yes, when something like this happens, the refs have to explain it to both coaches in detail so they both understand what is going on, points that are being taken away given whatever the circumstances may be.
And you got to figure out rotation now too. If you thought it was one way and the officials are telling you another thing.
And it looks like Coach Finn is still a little unsure about this call.
It's going to be served Marion Local with a 4-point lead. So here we go. Brianna Hess will serve for the Flyers. Maybe. John Finn still talking about it with the far side official. He's the one who stepped in and made the call. So it must have been something that they've been keeping his eye on for a while, maybe?
You would think, yeah. And pretty hard, you know, in circumstances like this, you're in the state championship, to be out of rotation and this much discrepancy over the call. You don't see it very often. Most of the time, the kids know where they are, the coaches know where they're supposed to be. You don't normally see a lot of things like this happen.
If there's a lot of substituting, does that make a difference?
It does. It can definitely play a role in being out of rotation, especially if you have kids coming in playing back row, front row, not knowing necessarily where they are, or maybe if a kid off the bench forgot that it was their time to go in and missed their sub, sometimes that can go into play with out of rotation calls as well.
And with that said, in the case of Central Christian, there's only 3 players on their bench. They're not substituting nearly as much as Marion Local does throughout the course of the match.
You are correct.
Well, they are still talking things over at the scorer's table.
I'm sure they want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, especially after this long pause to come back out, make sure everybody's in the right spot so that they don't have to have another long timeout like this again.
Well, it looks like the issue has been resolved and play will resume. Hess on the serve. Granger. Too strong, no tip. 21-16 Marion Local.
And here you see Granger gets outside of the block, but just couldn't get that sharp cross shot that she was going for.
There's Heitkamp. Another point for Marion Local.
And here you see great balance. The ball's a little off, sets a little bit outside her body, and she's able to be very athletic, get up, and still make a play. Very impressive.
Now back the other way, Granger gets a point back for the Comets, who trail by 5. Marion Local trying to get to that magic number 25 and wrap up the championship in 3 sets. Granger on the serve. Flyers set it up. Heitkamp. Nice dig over there by Granger. Mast. Blocked again. That's been the story of this match. And on the put away, it's too strong. Beyond the end line. 23-17 Flyers.
Here you see stays disciplined, really wants to get that deep line. Oh, that was a close ball, Jim. I don't know if that was out.
Winner on the serve. Mast. Blocked. What a save. Flyers keep it alive. Mast again. And this time it pays off.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. City Mass is very, very good at that, staying aggressive. She didn't get the line shot the first time. Second time she was able to execute.
There's Heitkamp. Mast. Heitkamp again. And this time it's a winner. And Marion Local is 1 point away from a Division IV state championship. Hannah Arling will serve, but not before Central Christian calls time. It is match point here in set 3.
It's a very interesting timeout call by John Finn. You know, 1 point left to go, but I do like it because this game isn't over yet. There's been comebacks like this before. They aren't that far out of range that Central Christian can't come back right now. He's trying to tell his team that you've got to fight all the way through to 25. I'm sure he's telling them, let's just take 1 point at a time and get back up. You got to win by 2, like you said earlier.
Now here's the last championship for the Flyers, 2009. Josie Winner and Claire Heitkamp were on that team but did not play. And needless to say, they feel a much bigger part of this team. Arling with the serve. Mast. Flyers keep it alive. Heitkamp. Good defense by Central Christian. Is it out of bounds? Yes! And Marion Local, for the 4th time in school history, has won a state volleyball championship. And it is bedlam on the court for the Flyers. Lindsay, they were the favorite coming in, but sometimes that's not the easiest way to play.
No, it's not, but they definitely came out here and executed everything that they wanted to do. They played great defensively, offensively. They were serving aggressive. They came out here and really took care of business today, and it paid off.
Well, we hope you can stay with us when we come back. The presentation of the championship trophy as Marion Local, out of Maria Stein, Ohio, state champs in Division 4.
Beth Hill, Central District Rep on the Board of Directors. The Northeast District Rep.
This OHSAA Volleyball Championship is brought to you by Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, hometown teams, big-time coverage, and by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers.
Well, there you see the runner-up for this year's Division 4 championship, the Comets of Central Christian, and it's never easy when your season ends. It seems even harder, even though you make it to the state finals, to see your season end on the wrong side of the score, but that school right there has a lot to be proud of.
Definitely. It's definitely a bittersweet feeling. They really had a great season. They have nothing to be ashamed of, a lot to be proud of.
Well, they stayed in this match and kept it close, thanks in large part to their seniors headed to Cleveland State, Sydney Mast.
Great player. She did a great job today staying aggressive, leading her team. A lot of great blocks and offensive there. You see another aggressive offensive play. She really did a great job today.
The second team All-Ohio selection, maybe playing on an ankle that's still not 100%, but you never know it by her performance out here today and also yesterday in the semifinals. And it's a small school that got a lot out of their volleyball team this year, and you know, you'll look at it and see a straight set win for Marion Local, but each set extremely close and really could have gone either way.
It was very, very close. They came out here and really executed the things that they needed to in order to hang with this very tough Marion Local team, and it just wasn't enough today. They were very, very close. Like you said, lost in 3 sets, but very close game still.
Well, let's send it down to the floor to Tim Street, who will present the consolation trophy to Central Christian.
In Ohio high school volleyball, Division 4 is known as having some great volleyball all across this state. And I think one of the things you might be surprised to learn, and you all know this, and I think everyone else needs to know, that Kidron Central Christian is more than half the size of any other school that was in this volleyball tournament. But based on the heart that we saw these girls play with this weekend, even down to the very last point, you would have thought that these would have been one of the biggest schools to ever play in the state of Ohio. I think you can all remember back to the start of the season, a couple losses. you might have questioned what kind of season you were going to have. And 24 straight wins later, you're playing in the state championship game. You've been to the state tournament before, and I think you'll probably be to the state tournament again based on the tradition that you all have helped establish at Kidron Central Christian. So on behalf of the OHSAA and our board of directors, it's my honor to give you the Division IV State Runner-Up Trophy in 2012. Congratulations.
Yeah, there they are, the runner-up. Central Christian, the Comets, out of Kidron, Ohio, in the heart of Amish country in Wayne County. Have you ever driven through there in the fall? What a great part of the state of Ohio. And these kids, about a dozen of the 38 girls who go to that school play volleyball, and they came down here and did a bang-up job in the state tournament. And they come up short to Marion Local team that has tradition. Now their 4th state championship, and they played extremely well the 2 days we saw them here and obviously throughout the state tournament.
They did. A very strong offensive team, a lot of variety. They are one of the few teams that has that ability that they can spread out their offense because they do have so many offensive threats. And that's not to take anything away from their defense. They also played some great defense here today. And
that's Claire Heitkamp right there, the senior, and she is our Time Warner Cable Player of the Game.
Claire Heitkamp had an amazing day today. She actually led her team with 16 kills, and she was able to hit over 300 hitting percentage, which is amazing. The kind of pressure you come into a state final, and she was still able to hit that well. Very aggressive player, and really did a great job leading her team to get this state title.
And it's interesting, the last couple of seasons, not a whole lot of playing time, not a featured part of their offense, but with the injury to Winner and another injury to Height Brink earlier this year, she was the feature player, the feature hitter, and man, did she respond.
She did. Sometimes all you need is that shot, and she definitely took full advantage of the shot she got.
So the beat goes on for the Flyers of Marion Local out of Maria Stein, and I think a lot of the town is here today, and why not? They enjoy their volleyball, and they see a lot of good volleyball over the years, and they have another special season. It was interesting, Amy Steininger, their head coach, was saying that when they don't win a state title, because they won the 3 years in a row, a lot of people will come up to her after the season and say, well, gee, what happened? Well, it's hard to win a state title. It's not easy.
Yeah, and people don't really know how hard it is and how much it takes time and effort and everything that goes into winning a state title.
She said there's a lot of years you don't win it, and you have a very good team, maybe even better than some of the years that you do. But she certainly can be proud of this year's team as a state champion. And let's send it down to the floor to Dr. Deborah Moore.
Trophy and game ball to the Flyers of Marion Local.
I just got one question. Is there anybody left in Maria Stein today? Aren't you proud of these fine athletes from Marion Local? Coach Steininger, you've got a tremendous tradition of excellence in volleyball at Marion Local High School. You've been in this Final Four 6 times. You've won it 3 times, 3 in a row, 07, 08, 09. And now today, ladies, you have accomplished that great feat again. You were #1 in Division IV all during the season, and you've culminated your season with this state championship, your 4th for Marion Local High School. What an outstanding performance. And so, Coach, and to the athletes from Marion Local, it's an honor for Ms. Hill, one of our Board of Directors members, to present to Marion Local High School this trophy, which says Division IV Volleyball Champions and this game ball. Congratulations.
And there it is, a happy group, and deservedly so. A team that had high expectations coming in, had to overcome several key injuries, but got it going. And they were at their best in the state tournament.
They were. Like you said, it takes a lot to get to the state championship, and everything seemed to fall into place, and they were able to execute.
And their 4th state championship in school history to go along with 07, 08, and 09. They've missed the last couple of years. Last year, losing to the eventual state champion, St. Henry. But there it is. They got to the state final in 4 of the last 6 years, and they continue just this tremendous tradition of excellence out in Maria Stein, Ohio, near the western border, the Indiana border of the state of Ohio. But they play some great volleyball out there, and they'll be able to tote that trophy back home to Maria Stein once again and display that proudly in their home gym. Well, it's been a fun afternoon of high school volleyball, the Division IV state championship between Central Christian and Marion Local. It went just 3 sets, but each of those sets went right down to the wire, and Marion Local wins its 4th state title. For Lindsay Rowley and the entire Sports Time Ohio crew, this is Jim Rosenhaus. Have a great night, everyone.